Since the dawn of time, scientists have been studying Earth's greatest mysteries. Does our universe ever end? Do humans have a purpose? Is eating pussy keto? All of these unanswerable. To life's greatest questions, perhaps it's better we don't know the answers. Quick, I'll give you 8 seconds to name the only socially acceptable furry thing on Earth. Time's up! If you said Star Fox, you're right. Star Fox is the DJ Khaled of third-person on-rails anthropomorphic space opera shooters. An idea that was basically perfected right away, that's undergone only minor changes since its inception, and is, for all intents and purposes, suffering from its own success. Well, hold on. There have been big alterations too, but people don't generally talk about those. Assault was sick though. Fight me. Nintendo treats Star Fox like married white women treat anal, as in you offer it once every 11 years just so people shut the fuck up about it. Right off the bat, it's clear the inspiration for this game comes from Star Fox 1 and 2 visually, as opposed to 64. When I think high resolution, the first thing I think is 1536 by 864. Pretty crazy to think that this game came out like 2 years ago and it's sitting at version 0.1. Like, come on guys, speed it up. The level select map here is looking a little sparse, to say the least. Let's wait and see what's up first. In the first stage, you gotta love these 3D load runner floorings. The character portraits and speaking voices are straight out of Corneria too. I notice here in the settings there's an option for mouse aiming. I'll give this a go later for fun, but that seems absolutely busted in a game like this. So map your controls to an N64 controller like me for the true experience. I know you probably don't need an explanation, but yeah, hold the fire button to lock on, release it to shoot missiles, tap the fire button to shoot, bomb button, boost button, brake, you get it. You can pick up laser upgrades as well as additional bombs in these boxes. I love how often you see one of each along a split pathway and it forces you to pick a side. That's clever. Despite having an interest in this game for a while, I had 4 main concerns going into it. For the sake of structure, I think it would be fun to go through and focus on them one at a time. Problem 1, the game would fundamentally boil down to swaying side to side while locking onto enemies, aka the sissy cylinder. This one's tricky to explain. Whenever I'm replaying Star Fox 64 or something like Sin and Punishment, I notice pretty quickly that my playstyle devolves into one of cowardice. The little boy part of my brain wants to take these challenges head on, to fight for what's right, to roll with the punches and save everyone. You can't hurt me anymore, Daddy! I'm not afraid of you! But the survival instinct in me always seems to devolve into doing circles around the screen while you lock on to enemies. It's particularly troublesome when the game features some kind of lock-on mechanic. Locking on to enemies while doing loops gives you even more motivation to ignore everything. Even just the start of the first level, there's a good chunk of things that force us out of the sissy cylinder. My fears regarding this eased more and more pretty quickly as I played. Of all the different ways of dealing with this, I think the core solution the developers went with is that enemies just don't shoot all that many bullets at you. Like, yeah, obviously they do, but in the shmup genre, and yeah, I wouldn't call this a shmup either, but play along, I'm used to getting riddled with bullets. Like I'm at a check stop and I reached for my PlayStation Vita too quickly. But here, it's a nice change of pace. Thing is, I love bullets. More bullets, the better. I'll discuss just how much I love them in a future video, but for now, yeah, it's my jam. It's really shocking how the developers managed to keep the intensity going despite the lack of on-screen things actually happening. The visual style plays along to this really well. The soft, muted palette wonderfully contrasts the smooth, flowy nature of the game. Areas where you're just fighting enemies are rare. Whenever you're blasting away at a stream of guys, there's some kind of environmental hazard included alongside of it. I'm proud to report the fears of the sissy cylinder seem to be totally unfounded. Even in areas like this one where enemies are flying in, these obelisks on the side really spook me. You can't fly around in circles when there's potential obstacles around everything, when you don't know what's gonna fall over top of the screen. I only noticed this once going through the footage, but there kind of aren't many areas where you just shoot enemies. I guess Star Fox Zero fucked up my brain, and now I assume that a third of this game needs to be straight hallways with enemies. Problem number 2, lack of circumference in the female character's areola. I mean variety. I've never thought about it, but making actual variety in a game like this seems really tough. Obviously there's things you can do and ideas to explore, but really, sit down and try actually thinking about how you would design one of these levels. I don't think that many ideas will pop up, and if they do, they don't pop up that easily. They dug down pretty good to think of some fun stuff. Plus, they didn't do that stupid ass thing in all of these games where you shoot a smaller asteroid and it breaks into pieces and then you shoot those ones. Oh fuck, well, can't win them all, whatever. The desert stage has these ancient walls popping up that you gotta fly through. When I saw screenshots of this game on Steam, my main hope was that this was in the game somewhere. This specifically, flying through a hole from this angle. Something about navigating through these holes in this perspective really does it for me. The water stage has all these enemies popping out of the bottom, so keeping an eye on the ground is required. The city level locks you entirely to the X-axis, which throws the whole game on its head. This is the best level, by the way, but you knew that just by seeing this clip, didn't you? And some levels abandon the linear structure to do more of an open battlefield segment where you gotta keep an eye on your headquarters and shields and such. You get the point. Variety is the name of the game. Each level focuses on a gimmick or two, not stretching ideas too thin and ending up with nothing. Visual variety is there too. The colors adapt really well. You could tell what stage you're in even while squinting from 50 feet away. You wouldn't mistake any one stage for another. In the sand level, you fly into this really sick pyramid. And it gets all trippy. Dude, they must have been on acid to make this. Dude, they must have been on acid to make this. Sometimes if you do well, there's a special stage afterwards. This one's more fast-paced and hectic. Gives 3D World Runner vibes. The music here is such a treat that it's seriously hard not to crack a smile. The bonus stage has a boss fight too, and it's great. The main level music is so damn good. I don't envy whoever has to make the boss battle music to follow it up. It's got a lot to follow. The factory stage consistently keeps you in suspense by these doors hiding the next rooms. When they pop open, it's great to see what you're up against. It makes every room its own little reveal. I don't think I have any complaints about the game's variety. Complaint 3, the boss fights wouldn't be fun. Key word here is fun. I'm substantially less interested in a well-designed boss fight as I am a fun one. But I don't know, maybe the bosses are good. Let's check it out. Alright, I think we all understand. Moving on. Complaint number 4, the impossible struggle of scoring. It was pretty obvious that this game was going to have a scoring system of sorts, not only because it's a Space Fox-like, but you know, shoot 'em ups and scoring go together like ammonium and nitrate. Scoring systems are fun, but devs mess it up like half the time by having it not be clear how to get a good score, or it's so difficult that you have to play in an unfun way in order to get the grade required to enter DeVry University. A B is just not gonna cut it! Luckily, while it's not totally laid out here, you should be able to see a good score when you pop off, and a bad score when you... Actually wanting to redo stages for a good score is a tough sell for most people, but I really think your average 6 foot, 180K a year, 9-inch guy will want to replay the stages. Everything feels so snappy and responsive. It makes taking a bunch of hits more likely to result in, oh dang, I'll get it next time, instead of, fuck! Those are my concerns. Ex-Zodiac nails all of them. So are there any complaints? Well, yeah, that sucks. I'm in a bit of a mood right now where I don't mind this. I'll keep an eye on the development and play the new levels as they come out, but I could see this being a major issue for some. I haven't played Deltarune for this same reason, so I do get it. Counterpoint, the game's like $5 right now. It's so comfy that it's really a no-brainer. If you're on the fence, I'll give you a special caveat. If you have a passing interest in this game and a high refresh rate monitor, you should get this. Welcome to the socially acceptable furry fandom, Ex-Zodiac. It's nice to finally have some company. I don't envy whoever has to make the boss battle music to follow it up. But I don't know, let's hear it. What do you got?